All right, guys, welcome to another Excel tips and tricks. Today we're going to look at conditional formatting. Now, with conditional formatting, you can actually use and create a pictorial view of what you want to highlight, and it can be positive or a negative event. Okay? Doesn't always have to be negative. All right, we're going to start by using conditional formatting to identify unique and duplicate values. So under your home tab, in your styles group, there is an icon that says conditional formatting. Okay. All right, so we're going to highlight our range first. So in this case, we're going to identify first what are duplicates. Okay. All right, so under conditional formatting, we're going to first highlight cell rules, and then we're going to select on the list duplicate. Now, by default, it's going to highlight values that repeat. So Caribbean is what in the duplicate value here, and that's it. It's repeated more than once. Now you do have the option to change as well your fill. So again, depending on what you want, with a yellow fill, a green, or you may choose to customize. The choice is yours. Now, as indicated, yes, you can look for duplicate values, but you probably didn't realize as well that you can also use identify just your unique values. Okay? You want to just pick up those locations that are unique. So in this case, Brazil and Canada are the unique value. Okay? All right, let's look at varied conditional formatting. Okay. All right, so we're going to look at values. We're going to highlight a range, and we're going to select a few values. Okay. Greater than means greater than a specific value. Now, you're wondering what did 435,000 amounted to? This is the average of these values here. Okay. So it's looking at anything above 435,000, then determining from here what you want to look at. Just those above 400,000, maybe everything, or maybe those about 200,000. So you can determine as well for a list what you want to look at. Same stands true for values less than. Okay. We can what you want to look at. Values less than 100,000, values less than 30,000 with none, values less than 3 million, which we have. Okay. Again, determining exactly what. All right. Now, with regards to conditional formatting, you can use as well data bars. These actually give you a pictorial view, the size and extent of the amount you're looking at. In this particular view, we're looking at values. You see that based on the data bars, the 670,000 is one with the highest values. The bar is the greatest. Balboa 450, then 290, then principle is the same for color scales. Again, depending on the value, you can see as well the different color shading. Green being the highest value, and red being the lowest value. Icon sets, you can use the term directional size to determine exactly how you want your particular cell. In this case, I just used a up and down arrow formatting. And in icon set, we can determine from here what we want to do. So to do that, on the edit rule, you can go and change as well from here the direction we want the values to. In this particular scenario, it's looking at 2/3 of the average of the values here, determining what is above average. So those above average would then be highlighted in green, up arrow. Those just about average would be in yellow, and those below would then be highlighted in red. So you can see that those that fall within the 33 percentile or low would be in red, and March. Those between 24 and 67 would fall about flat or yellow. You can see that for February. And those above 67 percentile would be highlighted in green, which you see here in April. We can then dictate what we want this displayed by changing as well the overall flow of the directional sign. All right, so say we want anything above 500,000. And anything between 250,000 and 500,000. Anything below 250,000 will be below our target. Okay. Once we apply our rule, we can then see that for both February and March, they are within target, they exceeded target, and for January, below. Now, what is also unique and great about conditional formatting is that we use a formula to determine which. In this scenario, we may want to highlight here where we're seeing revenue exceeding target, in particular revenue per employee. So you can see from January to April, the different targets that have been set, and we may want to highlight for the respective months where revenue per employee is the target. All right, so we're going to set this particular rule. So under conditional formatting, we're going to set our rule, which is a new rule. And in this case, we're going to use a formula to determine which. Now, there is no preference in terms of your format set. Just ensure that based on what you're using, it is visible. So I recommend using a fill that use your proper highlight, but as well is clear based on what you want to display. So in a backdrop like this, I'll not use a blue fill, I'll use more yellow or red. So let's choose. Now in determining what to format, again, the condition is the revenue per employee has exceeded target. All right, so we're gonna create a formula here. So we're gonna highlight revenue per employee and greater than the target. Okay. Now what's important here is that then we need to ensure that the formula is not referencing absolute values. So each time it actually goes and loops for the respective period and indicate as well whether for each respective row you have highlighted whether the condition has been met. Okay. Once you're complete, hit OK, and you'll see then that for both January and February, the revenue per employee has exceeded. That's highlighted here. That's revenue per employee. That's a target. And then the same as well as highlighted. All right, guys. Thanks again for listening.